Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Roger, and joining me today is Bill.
Hello, what's up?
And we're doing another creature feature. And,
Yeah, that's right.
and today's creature will be the Jersey Devil.
Classic cryptid. Um, Probably the oldest American.
I think so, honestly.
Yeah, it goes back a ways. Cause it's pre independence. So yeah, it's pretty old.
I wonder if they were tripping on whenever they saw the Jersey Devil back then.
Well, I got some theories which we can get into after we do the go into some of the history here. But yeah, cause this is like my turf. So
you have a chance of possibly seeing him.
yeah, it's funny, like the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. If you've never been there, which most people wouldn't, there's no reason to really go there unless you want to go see cranberries for some reason.
Oh, really?
Not the band, the actual, fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just swamp. It's nothing but swamp. Like the Pine Barrens of New Jersey is just swampy, marshy, gross. Like it's basically where Shrek lives.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it is. And there's nothing but these pine trees, but they're basically like just really tall, like they're just really tall straight trunks. And that's it because it's like swamp, so they don't have like necessarily pine needles and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um and so there's just like all these lines of just like straight trees. So if you're driving through it,
Mm-hmm.
it can create some really weird like if you're looking out the side of the window like at all these trees and swamps, it can create like some weird optical illusion things that you can like kind of see out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So is it just like you said? You said it was gross. Like, so it's just like super swampy, probably bugs everywhere, probably humid.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, completely. Yeah. It's really gross. It's not like because Jersey is not a like tropical paradise or anything, but so in the summer it's like really gross and humid and everything, but like in the winter it's
Mm-hmm.
it gets cold too. But yeah, like that's where they grow cranberries. Like the Ocean Spray Company is like there and everything, and like that's where they harvest all these cranberries.
Mm-hmm.
And like a cranberry bog is just basically a swamp where these cranberries float to the surface.
Oh, really?
It's the weirdest stuff. Like I don't know if you remember those old Ocean Spray commercials with like the two dudes that would just stand in the cranberry bog
Yeah, I
and they would
actually
talk about how
do.
great the cranberries are.
Mm-hmm.
That looks way nicer than what it actually is. Like picture like all those cranberries floating, but it's just like swamp.
Ah, so it's
It's just
gross.
it's just it's just muck. Yeah, and it smells like sulfur and just garbage.
No wonder I don't like
It's
cranberries.
yeah, it's like yeah, it's a weird place like in the like lower central part of the state.
Mm-hmm.
Um so yeah, it is the least surprising thing that there is like this
Folklore legend.
super famous folklore legend of some kind of creature emerging from
Mm-hmm.
from this swampy wasteland.
Maybe he just likes
So
eating
yeah,
cranberries too. Maybe that's what it is. He loves cranberries.
maybe. Yeah, it could be.
All right, so we'll get into the lore of how the Jersey Devil came about. So, according to popular folklore, the Jersey Devil originated with a Pine Barrens resident named Jane Leeds, known as Mother Leeds. The legend states that Mother Leeds had 12 children. She was she was keeping busy, and
Yeah.
and after finding out she was pregnant for the 13th time, she cursed the child in frustration, crying that the child would be the devil. During the 1735, Mother Leeds was in labor on a stormy night while her friends gathered around her. Born as a normal child, the 13th child changed to a creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat's wings, and a forked tail. Growling and screaming, it beat everyone with its tail before flying up the chimney and hitting into the pines. In some versions of the tale, Mother Leeds was supposedly a witch and the child's father was the devil himself. Some versions of the legend also state that there was substantially an attempt by local clergymen to exorcise the creature from Pine Barrens. So I mean, a pretty interesting tale, for how he came about.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
definitely.
first one, I'm like, why are you gonna curse the 13th child? I mean, why didn't you curse any of the first 12?
I mean, yeah, that's just, you got to get the number in there somehow.
Got the short stick.
Yeah. But like I just picture this like the movie The Witch, except with just like a dozen more children just running around,
Uh huh.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just like this goat monstrosity. Um but yeah, it's funny how like there are some theories that this whole the Leeds devil part of the story is just some like publishing propaganda against this family.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read about this?
No, I didn't know that. No. So.
So I find this really funny. Um, so there was a member of the Leeds family.
Mm-hmm.
This is further down. Uh, Daniel Leeds. He published an almanac that was rivaling Benjamin Franklin's almanac, and they were competing against each other to sell this book.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Benjamin Franklin's was it Poor Richard's Almanac, with all those like farming guides and
Mm-hmm.
meteorological, I guess, predictions based on like how the previous years went,
Mm-hmm.
and then it would be full of like aphorisms and little phrases like fishing guests stink after 3 days and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
These two almanacs are competing against each other, um, and so so it was like this political feud where the Leeds family was being described as monsters just because they were going up against Benjamin Franklin, and Daniel Leeds was actually given the name Leeds. He was the Leeds Devil, not actually an actual creature.
Mm-hmm.
And then this later spawned the whole idea of Mother Leeds as being like a member of this family, um, because Daniel Leeds, he had a few wives. His third wife gave birth to 9 children, um, uh, and because his previous wife had died before,
Yeah, seen his previous
um,
wife died with her daughter, with his daughter as well.
yeah, um, and so they were like just around this area of the Pine Barrens and
Mm-hmm.
There's a place in New Jersey called Egg Harbor, and it's called Egg Harbor because it smells like friggin' eggs. It stinks.
Why would
It's
anyone live there?
horrendous. It's horrendous. You drive past it, it smells, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's real. So,
Even to this day,
yes, 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 it does.
I wonder what's
It's
causing the
like
smell.
it's like sulfur or something. Yeah, it's so the thing about New Jersey is that like different places in New Jersey just stink. Um, it's really bizarre because like a lot of it is just like swampy wasteland, and then you have like shores and beaches and lakes and stuff on the edges and towards the south. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, there's like sulfur and just weird stuff, and so that's like where it gets like this reputation as being like a dumping ground, like for New York and everything, and like that's where just like New Yorkers dump their trash is in New Jersey, and like all those kinds of stupid,
Mm-hmm.
uh, stereotypes and things like that. But lots of parts of the state just stink.
So there's just a lot of mess in Jersey. You
Yeah,
got
and
Egg
Egg Harbor is one of
Harbor.
them.
You got the cranberries.
Yeah, it's the weirdest stuff. It's so bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, so the fact that like this Leeds family settled in that area and it smells like sulfur and sulfur is like
demon related.
Yeah, well, and they thought it was like like if demons were out, like that's what they would leave behind was sulfur. Um,
Hmm.
so it's not surprising that they turned it into like this weird propaganda
That's just the
against this family.
that's just amusing though. Like, could that fly today in today's era? Like, they gave birth to a devil.
I mean, yeah, it's just National Enquirer
like,
stuff, you know.
like that. They're
Um,
thinking of like, how can we tarnish their name? How can we make people not want to buy his? You know what? We'll just
yeah,
say his wife
like
gave birth to a devil, and that's it. We'll be good.
there was stuff in the '90s, like before she passed, like Princess Diana, like oh she was gonna give birth to some alien being or whatever, you know, like weird crap like that would be in the National Enquirer.
Hmm.
Um, so it just doesn't develop into like the same reputation and spawn, you know, a folk tale that is still being told,
To
you
this
know,
day, yeah.
300 years later. But
I mean, it would be amusing if it was real. It's like, oh gosh, she actually gave birth to a devil.
yeah,
And it's like,
it's like
how do I make
yeah,
people believe me? I just sound like a loon.
yeah, and so, but the other thing is that so it says here that he like even after all this,
Hmm.
um, so another criticism of the almanacs was that they were too pagan,
Hmm.
um, and so the Quakers, which like are close enough in usually Pennsylvania, they would like burn his almanacs because they thought that they were like blasphemous.
Yeah, because I see that
Um,
his almanacs were like about mysticism, cosmology, demonology, and angelology and natural magic.
yeah, so it's not necessarily surprising that they would just
Just say he's a
flip
devil.
that immediately and turn it, yeah,
Hmm.
that he's the devil and that he's spreading this, you know, awful, horrific book that's gonna, you know. So you should go buy Ben Franklin's book.
Yeah, right.
That's basically what it was.
Uh,
Um,
I mean, sounds like pretty interesting though. I'm like, to this day, you could still get his almanacs today, correct?
I bet you can, because you can still get Ben Franklin's, but his was like you know very well known.
It's
Um,
probably watered down from the original. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's possible depending on what survived. Usually stuff from the like the 1700s is in pretty good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just because like anything after the printing press is pretty much like survived.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet it's not too difficult to find. Um, but yeah, I also found this interesting. Their family crest, which they just started to put like a few years later after the son took over the business,
Mm-hmm.
their family crest is a wyvern.
Oh, really? So no wonder
Yeah,
the Jersey Devil looks
yeah,
like it does.
yep. So yeah, so we should probably get into that too, um,
Yeah.
because yeah, like the Jersey Devil isn't depicted uh, usually the same way. Like if you think of the devil,
Mm-hmm.
um, it doesn't have the same features and characteristics. Um, I think I touched on this, which is why I think we decided to do this in the Mothman episode.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very bird-like. It's very much um, like this amalgamation of different creatures, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so it's bipedal. So it stands up on two legs, um, but it has like bat wings, and then sometimes a goat or a horse head. But in certain sketches, it just kind of looks like a little dinosaur.
Yeah, no, it's exact. I know exactly, especially the older ones. It just
Yeah.
kind of looks like a little dinosaur.
Yeah, just like this little thing. Like it doesn't even look menacing or anything. I guess they were freaked out, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
it's some kind of weird creature. But it's almost adorable, like the way they drew it.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah. Like yeah, sometimes they gave it like a kangaroo body. Like
I
it's
seen that
just
one as well.
yeah, yeah, it's just kind of adorable. It's just like what's like a liger or whatever, like the
Hmm.
combination
Kind of like a
lion type.
sphinx almost.
Yeah, it's like sphinx like or like almost like a griffin, but like almost like a Neopets version
Uh-huh.
of like a sphinx or a griffin or something like that. Um, it's like because it says it's like a goat or a horse head, but it looks almost like a camel head to me.
Hmm.
Kind of. It's just like elongated or like a deer, which um, New Jersey is chock full of deer. There's so many
Is it?
friggin' deer. Yeah. Um, so that could be something that people saw, and
I'm just associated with it.
yeah.
I'm like,
Um,
I'm like reading into this. It's like, it's funny, like the rivalry they have with Benjamin Franklin, and like,
I think it's
it's
hilarious.
funny because like in the way they always depict Benjamin Franklin in history, that he was a nice guy. Not in this. He seems like a jerk.
Oh, you don't know about his like crazy France exploits?
No, like I'm seeing this that he's like he made a joke about his like the son dying, and it was like, yeah, he's dead. He's actually writing back to me as a ghost just to torment me. And like,
Yeah, it's
dang,
like
Benjamin, you a douche.
yeah, like one of the reasons why they used like the idea like his second wife died in childbirth. And so they used that against him to say like, well, look, he's like cursed or he's the devil or whatever. Like Jesus,
I'm
man.
like, dad, you can't. You have no heart. You can't just chill out. Like, no,
Yeah.
no, not to take it too far. Dang, Benji, I thought you were nice, but you were just a cool, cold-hearted jerk. Just mad because his almanac was pretty cool.
Yeah. But that was like because Benjamin Franklin is one of the like oh has to be logic and rational and scientific,
Hmm.
and so if anybody was like spreading um,
Something that's not. It's got to be
yeah
a
like
lie.
astrology or whatever, and it was
Uh,
directly impacting his wealth.
he was upset.
Yeah,
But the funny thing is, people just say, like people say science is just another form of magic. It's just magic that we understand. Like, did you ever hear that before?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, it's just that kind of feels like semantics to me.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, it it's just kind of funny how like because this was like right after it wasn't all that long ago where everybody thought that the galaxy revolved around the Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and so now like they're acting like they know everything
Uh-huh.
at this certain like like this certain time period. It's all that like post enlightenment kind of stuff
Mm-hmm.
where they feel that they're knowledgeable enough just because they sat around and talked about things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Especially because Ben Franklin just like was living it up in France where he would have like wild orgies.
Oh gosh.
Um, oh yeah.
He wasn't even an attractive
Um,
dude.
no, no, it didn't seem to matter. Was he one of the ones that died from syphilis? I can't remember.
That would be his karma.
Let's see. No, he was not one of the ones that died from syphilis, but many of them did, and during the time. But yeah, he had wild times in France
Oh god.
under the guise of like trying to get the French to help them with the Revolutionary War,
Mm-hmm.
but he was up to all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I never knew about this whole publishing feud,
Yeah, neither did I. That's actually,
which is
it's kind of
crazy to me.
amusing.
Yeah. Um.
Goddamn Benji.
Yeah.
Probably doing drugs, sleeping with French loose women, and just spreading lies about a good family just trying to sell an almanac. it's just amusing to think about like the times being like that. What a wild time to be alive.
Oh yeah.
It makes me want to start an almanac company and then like start lying about other almanacs. Like, yeah, they gave birth to a devil. His first wife died, giving labor. People would believe it with this year, how this year's going. So who knows? Might be the way.
Well,
It
that's
might.
the problem. I think that's why almanacs went out of favor, is because they would like attempt to predict what the next weather cycles would be based on the previous years,
Uh huh.
and so the wilder stuff gets, the less useful it is. But
Mm-hmm.
now, of course, we're like actually able to tell uh, with radar and everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
we can actually tell what the weather's going to be.
So
You know,
so
a
technic.
few weeks or even months out. But
So then, like their almanac would probably be able to thrive in today's like time because it's not only about weather. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
because it's about
it was almost like
astrology and all that.
it was almost like a magazine of just like some general interest, and then
Mm-hmm.
also uh
Here's the dash of weather. Mm.
yeah, and yeah, just like these specific. It's like between like a religious pamphlet,
Mm-hmm.
a magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and a weather report.
You know that sounds a lot more interesting than Benji's almanac. I'm going with the
Yeah, his
leads.
his was just like very based in like farming, and then just like
Oh,
phrases
his
and
is
things like that.
whack. Yeah, screw his. I'm going with the leads. And they got a son who's a devil. That's kind of interesting. That I feel like that would, in today's era where it scared people off back in the day, people would be enticed by that nowadays. They're like, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but like at a certain point where people are just like, okay, come on now. So the dude's a devil, and his son is gonna die and become a ghost and haunt people. Like,
Mm-hmm. While still
okay, all
making
right, we get
almanacs.
it.
While still making almanacs, though. You got to keep that in
Right.
mind. I mean, I guess this is. I mean, those days were back when they thought people were witches and everything, just because a woman wanted to read or something. They're like, she's a witch.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of explains why they possibly believed the Jersey
And
Devils from them.
and if like if he was the like a devil or a demon or some kind of monstrous being, um, what? And all he wants to do is get into the publishing business.
I don't think that's bad.
Like that's it. That's all he's up to.
He seems like a pretty chill demon. Like if that's
He just
all he
wants
wants
to
to
run a
do.
business.
I just want to write almanacs.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing a demon can do? And that's all. And all he wants to do is just sell almanacs to people.
It's not even like the story of the devil that opens up the shop of, and he sells all the cursed items.
Mm.
You know that classic story?
Yeah, I
I
know about
forget,
that.
but like he's not like, I guess if you want to say that he's spreading pagan blah blah blah.
But even then,
But
he's telling stuff about angels and stuff. So it's like, okay, he can't be that bad. Talking about astrology and like he seems like a pretty chill demon,
yeah,
like the best
yeah,
kind you can meet.
those Quakers weren't having it. They were not having it at
You
all.
know, those Quakers sound like squares, and I don't think I'd hang out with them anyway.
I mean, if your main export was oats,
Yeah, you sound kind of boring anyway. You got some fresh oats today, Bill? You know what? I want justice for the Lead family. I say we take this to court. I wonder. I wonder if they have any surviving members today.
it's possible. I'm sure that they have descendants at this point.
Just imagine, like, we somehow find the location of a descendant. We go to his house, and it's the Jersey Devil. I'm like, oh, you're real. He's like, yep, I'm real, and I'm still producing almanacs. I'm like, oh. That'd be pretty.
Jersey Devil just wants to print his zine, man.
He's like, yeah, that's the bullcrap started by Benji Franklin about my family. Yeah, I might be the Jersey Devil, but I'm not a bad guy. All I want to do is just spread some news to the people.
Boy.
You know what I mean? See, this is the thing about the creature feature people. We're here to deliver justice for the creatures who are being
Ghost Court.
who are being wrongly ridiculed for wrongdoings. But they're just trying to make a living like everyone. You know what I mean? Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, Mothman's trying to get work as a TV psychic.
And the Jersey Devil just wants to sell almanacs and stay in the family business. What is wrong with that? Jersey Devil, if you're listening to this, we got your back, bro. Or gal. Never know. They never specified the gender of the Jersey Devil. Maybe
Should we move into some sightings?
Yeah, let's go into some sightings.
Cool.
All right. Let me. So there was like a. Boom, boom. Apparently a sighting in 1909. So on January 16th through the 23rd, 1909, newspapers of the time published hundreds of claimed encounters with the Jersey Devil.
Hundreds.
Like, dang, that's a lot. From all over the state. Among alleged encounters publicized that week were claims the creature attacked a trolley car in Hayden Heights, in a social club in Camden. Police in Camden and Bristol, Pennsylvania, supposedly fired on the creature to no effect. Other reports...
It's bulletproof. It's bulletproof.
Yeah, right? See? It's that almanac. Other reports initially concerned unidentified footprints in the snow, but soon sightings of the creature reassembling the Jersey Devil were being reported throughout South Jersey and as far as Delaware. So I never knew he came to Pennsylvania. Nice. In Western Maryland.
Tri-state area.
I know, he's just traveling the world. The widespread newspaper coverage created fear throughout the Delaware Valley, prompting a number of schools to close and the workers to stay home. Vigilant groups of hunters roamed the pines and countrysides in search of the devil during this period. It is rumored.
Can you imagine? So, in 2020, we got schools and everything shut down because of a rampaging virus. In 1909, they shut down the schools because they thought there was a Jersey Devil hanging out there.
I know that. I was literally just thinking that. I'm like, that is great. I would love to be one of those kids. I'm like, yeah, our school closed down because we have a monster on the loose in our town. That'd be great.
That's where you get some boy cried wolf shit, though.
Oh yeah.
Everybody thinks they sees it just so they don't have to go to school.
Like, it's probably, I'm trying to remember, it kind of makes me, there was a show where they basically made fun of something like this. It was like, oh my god, man, I seen this, like, I'll just say the Jersey Devil. Oh, I seen the Jersey Devil. I bet you seen the Jersey Devil too. Only a madman wouldn't have seen the Jersey Devil. And then they're like, oh crap, I don't want to be considered mad, so I'm just going to say I seen the Jersey Devil as well. And then that just keeps growing and growing, and everyone's just like, oh no, I don't want to seem like a loser or something. So all these people who didn't see the Jersey Devil are just saying they seen the Jersey Devil so they don't seem crazy.
Oh, I think that was South Park.
Was that South Park?
I think it was.
It's just like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to be the weirdo. I gotta just say
it was the leprechaun. It was the leprechaun.
Yeah. It's like,
oh yeah, because there was that video. Remember that video? Everybody see the leprechaun say yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that episode. Yeah.
There's that like viral video.
Oh my god, it's just crazy. Oh yeah, you're talking about the Alabama leprechaun.
I guess so. There's like that group of dudes, and they're just like, everybody see the leprechaun say yeah, and everybody's like going crazy. He's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because I remember it was that. I think that episode was based on like in Alabama. In the hood, they said they seen a leprechaun in a tree, And everyone just kept saying yeah. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, what the hell is this nonsense? I'm like, people are just saying yeah just to say yeah at this point. And that might be what went down. But they took it to a whole nother level with the Jersey Devil
Yeah.
because they closed schools down.
Mm-hmm.
And then police. Then also think the police are like, yeah, we were shooting at it. They're like, I wonder what they were shooting at.
Some kind of deer, this bulletproof deer out
Yeah,
there.
right. Bambi came back. Oh, that's just amusing. And then, the Philadelphia Zoo posted a 10,000 rewards for the creature.
They want their own creature feature. They want
I know.
to lock up the Jersey Devil.
I know. I mean, if you get something like that in your zoo, you will be busy for quite some time.
Yeah.
Now you know what I mean. You would get a lot of guests. You'd attract a lot of people.
Normally, yeah, because normally that's like the carnival thing. Like they're in the back, they got some weird dude in a tent.
Or they like glued some parts to a random poor animal who's just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
That's like those people who used to like. You ever see the old like fake mermaids? But it would just be like half a fish and half a monkey's body just glued together.
Yeah, weird stuff like that.
I'm like, oh gosh, people are so weird.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So because of this $10,000 thing, there was a bunch of hoaxes, people trying to claim that money. Because in 1909, I wonder what $10,000 in 1909 was probably
a lot
of money. I'm not sure what the inflation is, but it was a lot of money.
To be honest, I think today that would roughly reach about like maybe 300,000, if not a little bit more, give or take. Because $10,000 is like a lot back then.
Yeah.
So it's like, dang, they really wanted that Jersey Devil.
Yeah. And so instead, they got people coming in with a kangaroo with bat wings on it. Okay.
Where'd you get a kangaroo? Yeah.
Where the hell?
So someone went all the way to Australia and brought a kangaroo, glued some bat wings on it. I was like, yeah, I found it. I'm like, no, bro, this is a kangaroo. We'll take it.
There are no native kangaroos
in
New Jersey and Philadelphia area.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, where did this person get a kangaroo at? To be honest,
I can't even imagine.
Oh man, 1909 seemed like a crazy time to be alive.
Yeah.
The almond, like, dang, to be see, Jersey has some interesting history, man.
Well, that's why we got that whole line of books. You want to talk about books? We got Weird NJ.
What is that?
That's a whole series of books about all the weird shit in this state.
Oh, really?
That's literally all it is.
Just
all the haunted things, all the whatever else. It's a series of books.
Oh my.
Just called Weird NJ.
Oh my god. I feel like we could just make a whole series about just going to all the weird spots in New Jersey.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Once this pandemic's over.
In high school, there was just like a group of people that thought that they were like, cool or whatever, and they would just go to abandoned places, and they thought that like that was what they were gonna do, but they weren't like the full like ghost hunters or whatever, and they didn't even like go to like drink or whatever like teens do, They would just go try to
go hang out,
search abandoned buildings. Yeah.
Oh, don't make fun of those guys, Bill. I was one of those guys in high school.
Was it like a huge like culture in your high school though?
No, it was just me and my group of friends, and then we'd occasionally go to scare people there. We were those guys.
Yeah,
as well.
It was like a thing.
Like
in our high
it
school.
was just popular in your high school.
Yeah.
I guess that's just a New Jersey thing.
Maybe.
But that's pretty. At least that's kind of interesting that your school had that. You know what I mean? Like, let's go ghost hunting. especially in high school. It's just like, yeah.
But
What are you guys
but they
doing?
didn't. But they didn't go far enough. They weren't like searching for EVP readings, and like they didn't have, you know,
Like
they
proper.
weren't like paranormal investigators. They weren't trying to do that. They were just like,
Let's.
yeah, maybe we could find some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was that was like kind of it.
I wonder. I wonder if they ever seen anything that freaked them the hell out.
I mean, probably not because they kept doing it.
Uh huh.
So
I mean, who knows, man? Because like freaky stuff like that, it might entice you to go keep doing it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I guess if you're a thrill seeker. But,
Yeah. That's pretty. That's interesting, but also hilarious that people did that.
yeah, it was a thing. It was weird.
You know, I think your sister told me that people did that. Like she had a group of friends who liked doing that as
Yeah,
well.
they always wanted her to go. Yeah,
And she was like, I don't want to do this.
yeah. It's like why would I want to just yeah.
Ugh.
It was a thing. It was this weird thing that people did.
Oh gosh, it's
I
like,
don't even know how they found out about places or
uh-huh.
like I have no idea. Yeah. Just this weird, I guess, hobby
Mm-hmm.
that
Like
people
I
had.
think it is. It might just be a high school thing because like thinking about whenever me and my friends would do it, like we'd try and find like abandoned buildings or like supposedly haunted areas.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, the one it was based on a true tale. It's called Green Man's Tunnel. It was like a dude really he got struck by lightning, and it
Yeah.
made his skin like kind of greenish and it like deformed him, and it's like he just only walked at night because he didn't want to get like made fun of or anything. But then people who would find him
Yeah.
at night, they'd be like, "Oh, he was actually a pretty nice guy. He just kind of looked kind of weird." So Green Man's Tunnel was a real thing. But I'm like, it's just something people like to do, I guess. Like, I don't see adults doing it. I guess it is more just a high school thing.
Yeah, because if adults are doing it, you're like,
Get
all right, you're just breaking and entering.
Yeah, right. You're getting arrested.
Yeah, like if it's teens, it's just teens doing teen shit.
You know,
But
well, no, I
if
guess
you're an adult and you don't have like
equipment and shit. Like, if you don't look professional about it, you're getting arrested. But if you look,
Yeah.
see, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna look hella professional, and they're like, and if a cop comes like, "Yo, you want to be part of our show?" You're like, "Yeah, man. Tell me what day it's gonna be on, and I'll tell the family." See that?
I'll need to put in like a fake earring or something so I look the part. Just like look like weird goth, like all those ghost hunter people do.
We'll have like
Spike up my hair like I did in 4th grade.
we'll have a seance book like, "Yo, man, we're just trying to find some ghosts because we know about this freaky town. Stuff goes down."
Yeah.
Then we'll have a cop who joins the show. And we're like, "Oh God, we didn't think it'd go this far, but here's Officer Dan, part of the crew."
So there was actually a building in our town that we had no idea it existed, and I still don't know exactly where. Like, it's almost like The Secret Garden. You know that book and that movie
Mm-hmm.
where like it's just like this like place that was like secluded,
You know, it's like
off,
almost impossible to find.
just like yeah, just like hidden in plain sight. It was an old like sanitarium that was turned into a nursing home, and it was abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
And a few years ago, it caught fire and burned down. And then my mom's like, "Oh yeah, it's just across the street from the high school." And I'm like,
What?
"What the?" I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about? There's nothing there." And then I looked at photos online. It's like in this open field,
Mm-hmm.
and then like surrounded by trees.
Mm.
And there's where is that? There's no place on the map for it. It's the weirdest thing.
Did you ever go to it?
No, because I didn't know it was a thing
Uh-huh.
until it burned down.
Oh.
But like yeah, like my brother had to be like let out of school early because the smoke or whatever
Mm-hmm.
was like blowing into the school, so it like really burned down. But I still have no idea where in the town it is because it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bizarre. It's like the Secret Garden.
Oh gosh. See, New Jersey just sounds like an interesting place just to live.
It's bizarre. Yeah.
The Jersey Devil, all that craziness in Jersey. No wonder the Jersey Devil's there.
No, it's
Selling
not surprising at
almanacs.
all.
I'm telling. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go like adventuring one of these days, and we're gonna find like a local bookstore or something, and it's like, and we're gonna see the Jersey Devil. He's gonna be old. He's gonna have a goatee. He's gonna have glasses, and he's gonna be like, "Yo, buy my family's almanac." And I'm like, "Oh." I'm like,
Like,
I
hey,
don't know.
I heard that episode. That was pretty cool.
Benji Franklin said not to get your almanac. He says your family's the devil. He's like, I mean, you don't gotta be a racist here. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to be that. You're like, you know what? I'll buy 2 almanacs. I'm sorry for offending you. See, now I just want to come to Jersey. Pandemic, you can end it by now. You can call it a rest. We've had fun. We've had our fun. I got stuff to do in Jersey. I gotta find the Jersey
Okay,
Devil and buy
okay.
an almanac.
Source of the kangaroo.
Uh,
During 1909, this dude and his friend Jacob Hope, an animal trainer, purchased a kangaroo from a circus and attached artificial claws and bat wings onto it with glue.
assholes.
They declared to the public that they had captured the devil, and it was displayed at the museum. Which museum? 20 years later, he admitted it was a hoax. So not until 1929. So there was 20 years where people thought that the Jersey Devil was captured.
Oh my god, people are dumbasses. The poor kangaroo.
Seriously.
Man, you're just chilling in the circus. Someone buys you, and you're like, "Why are you gluing this stuff on me?" Oh,
Yeah.
people are crazy. I mean, he probably only admitted it because he spent all the money.
Probably.
That's funny. Oh gosh. R.I.P. Kangaroo. Who got? I mean, I guess never mind. I guess the kangaroo was famous for a little bit. He was more famous than he was ever gonna be because people thought he was the Jersey Devil.
Yeah. That's kind of funny to me that just like an attraction at the circus was just a kangaroo back then.
Mm.
You know, like it doesn't say it did tricks or anything.
It was probably just chilling. Maybe occasional kick. Oh. So live in those times.
Oh, you know what? No, they probably did the boxing. They did the kangaroo boxing.
True.
That's unfortunate.
It's just funny, like living in those times. It's like, dang, the nonsense that would not pass for today. It wouldn't go farther. Someone would call it, bro. That's just a kangaroo. You just glued stuff on it. Nuh-uh, man. It's the Jersey Devil. Are you sure it's got a kangaroo pouch? Yeah, the Jersey Devil got to put his almanacs in his pouch. Where else would he put his almanacs?
That's where he keeps his sulfur.
Yeah, that's where he keeps his stuff. He's an almanac salesman. See, maybe that's what it is. Like, he's not going to scare people or like eat them or anything. He's just trying to sell an almanac, and people are just judging him off his appearance.
Yeah, maybe.
And he's just trying to like keep the family business going. Come on,
With his wings.
People, support local businesses. Buy the Jersey Devil's almanac. He's just trying to make a living in the U.S. like all of us. He's just trying to live that American dream.
Okay, I'm curious enough now. I'm going to Amazon and I'm going to see if you can get an Leeds almanac.
Dude, I want one. Watch, we'll order one, and it'll be the Jersey Devil who delivers it right there. He'll knock on your door. He's like, "Yep, I seen that you wanted one of my family's almanacs, and I feel like I'd deliver it personally. I listened to your podcast, and you're right. Thanks for supporting local businesses."
Yeah, it only pulls up a history of the Jersey Devil.
Oh, really?
I don't think you can get it. Yeah, I don't know if might just be able to get. Hold on. Now I'm curious. Jesus Christ.
Oh crap! It must be a lot.
Okay, so a copy, like an original, like manuscript of a Leeds almanac
Mm-hmm.
on this like very fancy auction website. $15,000.
Oh, oh. No wonder his business is failing. You're selling it for too much. Dang,
A
15.
fine copy of Titan Leeds American Almanac for 1738. The year of the author's death. Oh, that's why.
Ugh. What is
The
it?
death of Titan Leeds was a subject of some controversy earlier in the decade when Benjamin Franklin, writing as Richard Sanders in the first issue of Poor Richard's Almanac, inspired by Jonathan Swift's famous Bickerstaff hoax of 1708, predicted that his good friend and fellow student would die.
I don't think they were friends.
No, he's like being funny.
Damn, that's a lot.
Contains schedules for courts, Quaker and Baptist meetings and fairs, a list of roads and distances between the points from Boston to South Carolina, a catalog of living monarchs and their dates of birth, an excerpt of the Dunciad original verse, a bookseller's advertisement for Andrew Bradford, and a note to all readers with apocalyptic speculation pertaining to the Pope.
Oh my god. To be alive in those
It's
times.
it's like normal info, and then it's like, hey, yeah, Pope says that the world's gonna end. It's like maps and then a list of like who's in charge around the world, and then yeah, Pope says the world's gonna end.
That's hilarious. Why doesn't our Pope do that now? He needs to step his game up. I'm gonna write to Pope and be like, yo, their Pope used to predict the end of the world. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Man.
I want to see if there's text to this anywhere.
Not only is that book hella expensive, it was just, there were some crazy times back then.
Oh, but there's an ad for Leeds Almanac, free shipping on eBay.
How much is that one?
It's an ad, so I doubt it's even...
Even the real one?
Oh, hey.
Legit one?
Yeah, there are some of them.
Oh, nice, nice.
1710. Almanac of the Year. $28, $18, $29, $19.
Okay, see, that's not that bad.
I'm just like, why? Who published these, and why aren't they being published still?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, this is probably less interesting to people, but...
Look, man,
I'm
we're just trying to
fascinated by
support
this
the
kind of
Jersey
shit.
Devils business, dudes. Local business needs help. That's what we do.
Who the hell published this? Gale, 18th century collectors online. This is weird stuff. Okay. Yeah, anyway. Maybe I'll try to find one
Mm-hmm.
after we're recording. See what I can do.
If we find one, we'll post a video about it.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
We'll post a review on it and give our thoughts.
Yeah, that would be so much fun. I'm gonna see if I can find one.
Oh man.
At least the text. Somebody's got to have. Yeah, somebody's got to have put it online. I'll find it.
Someone has to still be supporting their business.
I don't know who published it. That's the thing. I'll have to do. Yeah, I'll do my publishing research.
Oh gosh. All right. I think it's time for some story times.
This is my favorite part.
All right.
Even though we've only done it once.
Yeah.
But...
All right. So for this week with the Jersey Devil, he doesn't have as many long stories as the Mothman. So I'll probably tell at least 2 to 3 tales because they're pretty short. All right. So the first one is called "Driving by the Devil in the Pale Moonlight." This has haunted me since it happened in 1972. I was a senior at what was then the Glassboro State College. I had heard about the Jersey Devil when I came to South Jersey, but being from North Jersey, a different world. Is it that much different, North and South Jersey?
I mean, South Jersey is like more shore stuff.
Oh.
But and I guess that's more of where like the Pine Barrens are, is South Jersey. But North Jersey is more because it's the part that's
closer to New York.
bordering New York.
Uh,
Yeah. So
so he says, I thought I was far too sophisticated to believe in such humbuggery. Who the hell uses humbuggery? One winter night, I was driving to Glassboro from Blackwood on the Green Tree Road. At the time, the road was flanked by orchards and farms. There were few houses and there were hardly any development. I was completely sober and awake when I caught a glimpse. See, that's his way of saying I was not sober and I was barely awake. When I caught a glimpse of something in my rearview mirror. Curious as to what it could have been, I slowed down to take a gander. It was dark out but moonlit enough that I had no trouble at all seeing the upright figure of a creature crossing the road from one side to the other, roughly 25 feet behind my car. The figure stood taller than a man by far. It had thick haunches, similar to goats. Why didn't you say hooves? Supporting it nearly human-looking torso and a huge woolly head. It moved heavily and didn't seem at all disturbed by being there. I didn't linger long enough to see much more. I hit the glass and flew to Manson Park apartments in the borough. So petrified was I that I slept the rest of the night in the car, unwilling to get out in the same darkness that had introduced me to the Jersey Devil. Never again, from that day on, have I ridden on Green Tree Road, day or night, that I haven't gotten the heebie-jeebies just thinking about the winter night so long ago. Merry Richard, Chris's song. That was like, just uppity North Jersey people, just hating on the South Jersey people, and then she sees the Jersey Devil. She should have just bought an almanac.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, I guess what do you do in that time? Like, 1970s, you see something in the back window, and it's just a goat demon man. All
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. You keep on trucking. I don't know.
I know, like, I mean, I guess I respect the response. Like, you know what? I just kept going because I did not want to deal with that. Yep.
Yep.
It's just
Out
like
of
that
sight, out of
meme.
mind.
It's like that meat that's like, nope, just keep going.
It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna think about the weird bat goat on the back of my windshield.
Selling almanacs.
I'm just gonna not look in the mirror. I'm gonna keep driving.
I wouldn't sleep in my car because what if it just busted through your car?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's not smart. Especially if it's really big. You'd probably have a better chance of escaping just running into your house.
Yeah.
Alright. So the next story is called Don't Ever Camp in the Pine Barrens Alone. I mean, from your description of Pine Barrens, I don't think it's a good idea in the first place.
No.
I spent a lot of time in the Pine Barrens when I was growing up in New Jersey, and had my share of strange experiences. When I was 13, I went camping alone near the Hampton Furnace. Yeah, 13 camping alone? What was their parents thinking? I had a bow with me and went looking for a rabbit dinner. Oh, okay. So this person's a little wild anyway. they were just gonna
Shit.
they were just gonna eat a rabbit, okay. About an hour before sundown, something started following me back into the trees. It tailed me back to my camp and circled while I cooked my dinner. He just wanted some rabbit, dude. This kept up until about 2 hours after dark. And let me tell you, it was one dark night. I finally decided that my visitor had moved on and crawled into my tent. When I just started to calm down, I heard footsteps down right behind the tent. I got all set to jump out when this thing, whatever it was, started screaming. Oh, God. I would compare the volume of the scream to a large truck's horn. I couldn't decide what to do. I had my bow and my knife, but they didn't seem like much. After several blasts, it just stopped. I didn't hear a sound except my heart for about an hour. I was sure that if I stuck my head out of the tent, I'd lose it. In the morning, I could find no tracks in the pine needles. To this day, I still don't like sleeping in tents, and I'd rather take my chances in the open. Keith. I mean, your first mistake is going camping alone as a 13-year-old.
Yeah, and he's hunting rabbits.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you hunting Your mom couldn't have packed you a lunch for you to go camping? Ugh.
Yeah, that's wow.
Some of these people, man.
I think, but they scared the devil. Devil didn't really scare them.
Yeah. Yeah, the devil's the one screaming, freaking out about you.
Yeah.
He seen what you did to that rabbit. He's like, oh my god. That was my friend Ted. Ted, no. just this crazy 13-year-old just killing rabbits, camping by his lonesome in Pine Barrens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling children's services because that kid should not be alone in the woods by himself. All right. In the third story, it's called Field Trips to the Jersey Devil's Turf. As a native of the Cape May County, I have had the typical rite of passage trip to the Pine Barrens. Have you had that rite of passage to go to the Pine Barrens, Bill?
I mean, I get it's not. Yeah, it's not a rite of passage. But Cape May is the southern, like it's the southern tip of New Jersey, like the little nubbin that sticks out in New Jersey. That's Cape May. So it's like the most southern point of the entire state.
So wait, so do you live in the north or south part of New Jersey?
Central.
Central. Okay.
Yeah.
So the better of the three.
Yeah, we're basically parallel to Pittsburgh.
Okay. Cool.
Like it's literally a straight line.
Mm. So the legendary home of the Jersey Devil. This Jersey girl went to Cape May County Technical High School, which sponsored trips to the Pine Barrens for good grades in certain classes. I was one of the fortunate students to go 3 times during my 4-year career at CMCT.
But that's not a... Why is that a reward?
I don't know.
There's nothing there.
Each time I went on this trip, my canoe was followed by a heavy-footed thing. With each step, I heard branches snap under its hooves. Every 10 minutes or so, I could hear deep, beastly growls that to this very day give me the creeps. If it gave you the creeps, why'd you go 3 times? Like, you know what I mean? You're just asking for it at this time. If it did it every time you came. Being in the canoe and on a class trip didn't afford me much opportunity to flee in terror. So I stuck it out for 3 years. You just don't do good in class. Just failed that class.
But they were saying that she was so fortunate enough.
Yeah.
To go on the trip, but then she's like, "No, this trip sucks. I hated it. I was taunted by a thing."
Yeah,
and I kept going.
You're making this choice. You could deliberately fail this class and not go,
or you could just not go.
Yeah, just tell your parents like, "Yo, I don't want to go to this thing." So she was like, every year it was the same. During my sophomore year, I was pretty confident about my canoeing skills. I didn't know it took canoeing skills to ride in a canoe. So I didn't look over my shoulder much. I went canoeing with a friend of mine. We came across a bag that had been torn open and gone through. Around it were prints on the ground that looked like something a horse hoof, only bigger. Then...
What does that have to do with canoeing?
I have no idea. Was this bag just in the water?
Right, yeah, and then what does that have to do with hoof prints?
Yeah, I have no idea. This lady is sounding nuts already. Yeah. Then I heard it. The cry that still haunts my dreams. Part human, part beast, in full of anger. Pregnant with pure hate, I nearly flipped the canoe. How'd you find this bag and seen its hooves if you're in a canoe in water?
Are they canoeing in the muck?
I guess.
The swampy nonsense?
And this is a class reward?
That's what I'm saying. What is this?
Yeah, I don't know. We left, leaving whatever it was out there behind, or so I thought. It seemed to have followed us. Every time we stopped our paws, it got closer to the river. We pushed on. Then worse came to worse. As we tipped the canoe, I heard the thing running behind us, and, and thought for sure we were dead. Then
Oh,
we,
I guess it's on the riverbank, and they're in the river.
mm-hmm. And then we
Yeah, that was.
righted our canoe, and got into it as fast as humanly possible. We finally made it out to safety. Sun, sun fried to a crisp, missing all of our valuables and most of our clothes. What the hell? But never happier to be on the shore. We packed on our bus and left. Naked. As we were leaving, I rested my head on the window and saw a little a cottage. I looked at it until the bus was about to pass, and I saw a woman. She looked back at me, and I could see her skin was torn and bleeding. After the bus passed, she vanished. Scared me so badly I wouldn't go into those woods for a year. Kelly. Oh my God, Kelly, what drugs were you tripping on? And why did you keep going on this trip if this happened every year? Getting chased by the Jersey Devil.
I don't know. It sounds like she found a fat raccoon that was going through some trash bags.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I mean,
That's what it sounds like to me.
and if she did see a cottage, maybe she found the Jersey Devil's cottage where he sells his almanacs.
Yeah.
Maybe he wasn't screaming in horror to scare you. Maybe he was like, hey, buy an almanac. Benji Franklin's a jerk and he tried to run my family out of business. I need to make this money.
Hey, watch out! There's a rock coming up in the river. You should
You're going to
be
flip.
prepared.
He's just... See, these creatures are just trying to do some good deeds, and people are just freaked out by appearances and they're judging. Don't judge a book by its cover, people.
Yeah.
These creatures are nice people just trying to make a living like you and me. I just don't get her, though. It's like, if you have this experience every year and it freaks you out every year, just stop
keep
going on
going.
the trip. Nothing is making you go on this trip.
Yeah. I don't know. I still don't understand how the trip is a reward.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I, I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna read one more story. This one is called "Camping with the Jersey Devil."
Oh.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
In the late 1980s, a couple of my friends and I took a camping trip to the Pine Barrens. I was unaware that we were headed to the home of the Jersey Devil. We headed out on our bikes and did our share of partying that night. The next day, while everyone was asleep, three of us decided to hit the trail a bit earlier than usual. We were about 100 yards away in the woods when my bike stalled out. I looked and found that my friends had stalled also. Oh God, the Jersey Devil has bike stalling powers. At first, I thought it had something to do with the terrain. Oh God, it was the Jersey Devil! Or maybe something to do with the nearby power plants. 50 feet away from each other, we tried to start up our bikes. When suddenly, from the woods, we heard the most horrible piercing scream. It sounded inhumane, like something being tortured. Once back at the camp, and they asked us if we had heard the screams earlier. They had heard them too, 4 miles away. That night, we hid into the local town because we ran out of booze. We went into a bar, and I ordered a drink, still in shock from what I had heard from that morning. The bartender asked, "Hey kid, would you see a ghost or something?" After I told him the story, he smiled and said, "It looks like you met our little old friend." He then asked us to come back out. He showed us a tin garbage can that was shredded to bits. It looked like shreds were made from something with 3 claws. I had never returned to Pine Barrens since, and I do not plan to go back. Frank T. So, the Jersey Devil has bike stalling powers as well.
It also seems like he found a raccoon.
Right?
Something going through the trash. It's probably a raccoon.
Yeah, it sounds. 9 times out of 10, it's a raccoon. And in that other one, it's probably a possum.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh man, to live in the South Port of Jersey, it must be interesting. It, I guess I wonder if there's every no, not I guess not on the West Coast. I guess it's an East Coast thing, like where you have your city part of like your state, and then you just have your countryside. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because it's like that in Pennsylvania too. Like you have Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, kind of Harrisburg, and then the rest is just country.
No, there's nothing in Harrisburg.
Is Harrisburg like more country or something? I've never been to
It's
Harrisburg.
Harrisburg is like a small town. It's like
Oh, so they're probably a little country then.
yeah. There's nothing there.
Uh-huh. I guess that is this. I guess the south part of Jersey is the countryside of Jersey.
Pretty much. Yeah.
We got to make a trip to Pine Barren and we got to meet the Jersey Devil.
Apparently, you got to camp out there. You know.
Yeah, I know. Maybe he'll
Got to
give
take
us
a bow. Got to get some rabbits going.
Oh, yeah, it's just all these people all went camping and some of them might have been on drugs. Not gonna say. At least one of them admitted he was drinking. So. But if we do, guys, if we meet the Jersey Devil, we will most definitely buy his almanac. Support his local business. He doesn't seem like a bad guy. Everyone's just freaking out by his screaming. I've seen plenty of people just screaming, and they turned out to be pretty nice individuals. I wonder if the Jersey Devil ever met the Mothman.
I don't know. Maybe if there was some overlap in Pennsylvania,
Yeah, right. Like, hey,
they met up.
you come here often? Nah. But it's a pretty nice area to come. Once I learn how to make once I figure out how to do animation, I'm gonna have to make that a series, like a creature feature, like a creature feature spinoff, where all the creatures all just meet up at a local place. They'll meet at a bar. We'll be the bartenders, and we'll just hear them out.
I just think some of the explanations of what the Jersey Devil is like really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people thought it was this group of basically a gang out in the Pine Barrens called the Pine Robbers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because yeah, this part says here, Pine Barrens were considered inhospitable land, and gangs of highwaymen, known as the Pine, like some of them known as the Pine Robbers, were known to rob and attack travelers passing through the Barrens. And then some other ones like poor farmers, fugitive brigands, Native Americans, poachers, moonshiners, runaway slaves, and deserting soldiers.
So Jersey.
So they're just like seeing people, because that's the thing about the Pine Barrens, like the trees. It's just like a series of straight lines.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just like traveling through and you see something in between them, it'll like distort and change the shape. Like if you just like see it in the peripheral vision.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's crazy. But I think the most likely one is Jeff Brunner of the Humane Society of New Jersey thinks the Sandhill Crane is the basis of the Jersey Devil stories.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that makes sense to me just based on the wingspan and like the two-legged nature of it.
That where it just stands up outright.
Yeah, and it's like it's brown. It's
What's it called?
the Sandhill Crane.
Let me see.
And if you look at its head too, it's almost like it's like a little ostrichy kind of.
Isn't this the same crane they thought was the freaking Mothman? Because like
No, but this is like this is like a similar thing, like just like a bird that has a really big wingspan.
Uh-huh.
I think could easily be misinterpreted as some kind of weird-ass creature. Because if you look at this crane specifically, like it's not a bird you would see all the time.
Mm-hmm. So quite elusive.
Yeah.
I mean, it does, like you say, it has a huge wingspan, so
Yeah, and it's got like a weirder head and neck than you see on
like a normal bird.
birds. So, especially in South Jersey, there are a lot of cranes. I don't
Are
know
there?
about this specific crane, but yeah, there are a lot of cranes in like Cape May County and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a lot of bird watching nowadays down there. Um, and egrets and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it could easily be,
Probably just a bird that people mistook for a creature.
yeah, just a weird looking bird.
It's that's probably more so the logical aspect of it. That yeah, it's just a bird, guys.
Yeah, because
You're just tripping.
if you look at this crane, like its feathers, they're
Yeah,
like
it's
brownish, and
yeah.
it's almost like fur looking from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it is feathers, it's like
And like you said, they're
it,
pretty big too.
yeah. And they got weird. They got almost like got the backward. They got the backwards flamingo legs, you know,
Yeah, I see that.
something weird looking like that. And so you think it's some kind of weird bipedal demon. But
People are just.
I think that's the
terrible at
most
giving
likely of what
descriptions.
people are seeing.
Mm-hmm. People are
Getting
just
high off of sulfur.
right. Make them see a horse-head demon creature that's selling them almanacs.
Yeah. And of course, we didn't even get into the whole fact that the hockey team is named after the Jersey Devil and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really much. I mean, that's basically it. But
Yeah, he was on. He had an X-Files episode.
yeah,
I guess it's cool enough to just be named like the town, like New Jersey's hockey team was just named after it.
yeah.
Like, so that's cool enough, to be honest.
But the whole aesthetic of the team is just like a regular devil-looking, you know,
Mm-hmm.
pitchfork and tail and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Very red. If they had our dude, this little kangaroo looking Neopet.
I think they should make that the
Yeah.
the spokesperson. Just make it look like that. What are you doing?
Yeah. I think that'd be funny.
But I think this is probably. You think this is a good part to end on?
I think so, yeah. We went through history, some
Told-
stories,
Told the story of the Lead
some
family.
theories.
How
Yeah.
Benji Franklin's a jerk and a hater.
I think that's the takeaway here.
Benjamin Franklin was not cool. He was a hater who had a boring almanac and was just mad that the Lead families was doing better.
Trying to take down competition at any cost. But,
Mm-hmm. All
yeah.
right. Well, until next time, we'll probably post within the coming week or so 2 more creatures for you guys to vote on to see which one we do first.
Yeah. And next week we'll have another regular Dead End Road show, and then the week after that, another creature feature, and that'll be the schedule going forward.
Keeping
Ideally.
it going. Keep this train going. Woo, woo.
Yep.
Well, until next time, everyone, stay groovy.
Peace.